Do you work harder to earn praise and recognition or to avoid criticism?
Oh, you want me to start
I'm about to say,
that
girl, because
off?
I'm ready. I'm locked and loaded. One thing that triggered me to even want is the fact that I started thinking about my childhood and how obviously it transitioned into my adult life. And I think I was one of those people that definitely worked in a sense to, or I guess you could say I worked harder to avoid the criticism or to not, I guess in a sense, have those applause continuing behind me. I worked very hard. But what I will say with that is I didn't know that's what I was doing. As an adult now, looking back at my childhood, that's exactly what I was doing.
So, okay, I'm going to sidebar this though. Mm-hmm. Is praise and recognition a love language for you?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Look at that layer you just peeled back.
I knew that though.
Praise and recognition is definitely one of my love languages. But obviously, it all stems from that inner child.
Yep.
All of it stems from your childhood.
Everything stems from your childhood.
High school, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will probably, girl, bye, you ain't play no basketball. You ain't, you wasn't it. No, but I was really, really good in high school.
Right.
It started in middle school. And I just thought to myself, like, damn, I'm this good. But I didn't have the desire to go play collegiate. I entertained it. I did, I even went and did official visits and, did official visits out of state. And even in the back of my mind, I always knew I'm not leaving Georgia. Like, one, I was too scared.
Right.
But why did I continue? Why did I still play? Why did I just go through all of that? Because basketball was my life. And it's just, I thought to myself, my family paid attention. I'm getting praise from my school. It was even from college. It just getting praise from that.
Do you feel like that is from lack of attention in your childhood?
From home. I tried to excel at everything. Janine, I could go back from oratorical contests that, girl, I could barely speak in front of people now. But I pushed myself to do those things and being this athlete, because I knew being an athlete, that's constant praise.
Yeah.
So, I saw that, anything where I was getting granted, like I said, I didn't know that's what I was seeking. Right. I didn't know I didn't know. But just looking back, I always had to have applause going. Yeah.
I feel like I might be the opposite. Or it's a balance between the two. Because I'll say, first of all, I'm the baby of my family. Mm-hmm. We didn't have much, but we were really, really close family. And if nothing else, I always had attention on me. But I know that, like, I was really good in school. I made maybe 2 B's from kindergarten to my senior year. Like, I was salutatorian of my high school class, graduated with 4.4, went to college on scholarships. Nobody really noticed, though.
In your family?
In my family. Like, it wasn't like they pushed me to do anything. I just, for myself, wanted...
Those would have been huge accolades in my family.
And that's why I'm saying it must not have been for the praise, because I don't really feel like it was noticed. I feel like it was expected of me. It was like, oh, that's what Janine's going to do.
As in, like, that was the standard for your family?
Not even the standard. It's just like, this Janine is going to do this. Like, we don't have to worry about her.
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
But looking back on that, it's a lot of loneliness in that, because where was my praise for being so amazing at certain things? Where was the recognition? Yeah. And I think that, let's fast forward into relationships. A lot of times I do things to avoid the criticism because I don't want to feel less than anything. Like, I didn't do a good job at something, or I didn't do something right. So it's almost like, let me jump in front of this. Even if I don't feel like doing it, I'm going to jump in front of this because...
To avoid the criticism.
To avoid the criticism. I'm literally talking this through right now because
I love it. That's what
never
this is
even
for.
thought about this. So I'm really trying to figure out it can't be for the praise and recognition. I think if anything, I probably try to avoid criticism because of that idea of perfection and not wanting to feel like, first of all, so many odds against me. I've had to just overcome so much in my life in certain areas because nothing has ever been handed to me. So it makes you want to work harder, but I feel like I do it more for myself.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like, you know,
It's a good one.
When you go, when you really dissect your childhood, well, let me just use my own personal, because that work is left up for you guys to do. But I could tell clearly I wasn't getting enough attention. And by the way, anything that I discuss when it comes to like my family or, you know, we're good. Right. You know, this is my own healing journey and my own, you know, experience. And I just hope that I could help somebody else, especially that can relate. I don't even think I've realized how long or how many times I was alone growing up until, you know, like just talking to my mom and just really realizing, because that was like the norm for me.
Yeah.
Like the routines that we had back then, like my mom traveled literally from Monday to Thursday every week. And my cousin lived with us at one point and my dad would be in and out, but that's what was missing at home was attention.
Yeah.
And you know, unfortunately I didn't get enough. So I sought it out in other ways.
Yeah.
But that for sure was a big deal for me transitioning into an adult, because just like how you just realized, like, yeah, that must be your love language is acknowledgement. It really is. I don't think anything's wrong with it, but it just made me be more aware of like, damn, like now I can act how I want or be who I want to be without needing those applause. With knowing my worth, with knowing like, girl, what, you that bitch, like, stop.
But if that's your love language, you still need that. It's nothing wrong with needing that.
Oh no, the acknowledgement,
the right
yeah,
okay.
The acknowledgement is still a big deal for me, especially in my relationship. Like,
right.
I mean, you know, if you read the 5 love language and you get it, but yeah, I just feel like I say all the time, awareness is key. It just made me realize like, I don't have to do this, that.
Yeah.
You don't have to continue those patterns. You don't have to continue. You can acknowledge that inner child and that trauma from that. But we don't have to continue that joy. Like, we're grown. Like,
so what do we think is the best, like, what's the best approach? Or is there a better approach to that? Like, should you do things for reward and praise or to avoid criticism? Or is both kind of like, you shouldn't be doing it for either?
I think it's the awareness within it. Just truly knowing like what you're doing things for. Also, like I said, knowing your worth so that you don't feel like you need those applause. You won't continue to do things like, girl, I can even just think about certain endeavors that granted, yes, I've been fully on into, you know, endeavors that I've had and loved and were completely passionate and fully into it. But what am I doing it for? I'll get so deep into something. And that's why, and just because I always will relate to or go back to my own personal journey, it's like I started a whole damn documentary series 2-3 years ago. Granted, my father passed literally a month after it.
And
COVID jumped in. So, but I thought to myself, granted, I do plan on going back to it because I had to think to myself, what did you do it for?
Yeah.
And it brought me back to what that purpose really was. And it definitely motivated me to figure out trying to do a season 2. But it'll be little things like that. And then styling and working at all the other stores. And even just within the stores that I've worked with, the companies I've worked with, I'll give myself a cap. I'll work so hard, continue working, you know, scratch off all the goals and stuff, have this position. Then what's next? Do you notice that?
Yeah.
High school. Didn't do college ball. All these companies I've worked for and was a bomb ass employee. What did I do with it? Styling. What did I do with it? That's true. KBU. But you see what I'm saying? And it's not every single one of them is that I needed praise or. Right. But you have to just be aware of these cycles, be aware of these patterns, so that it will bring forth like what your true purpose is behind these things that you're doing.
And do you feel like you found something that you can find your true purpose in?
Girl, this right here, Emerald, like Emerald couldn't have come into my life at a greater time. You know, like I feel like, and for what's so crazy was that, like working at a store, I remember somebody telling me like, "You're gonna have your own brand one day. You need to have your own brand one day," and I would just laugh it off. I would have sketches. I would just laugh it off. But now look at us.
Right.
So I feel like that's divine timing and my purpose, and I feel like I'm able to fulfill my purpose by doing things like this.
Do you feel like if you would have been doing this by yourself, would you have given up by now?
Ooh, yes. If I'm being completely transparent. Well, let me not say completely yes.
This isn't easy, guys.
It's not.
Just
It's
FYI.
definitely not.
So.
I wouldn't say yes completely, that I would give it all the way up, but would it be super challenging enough that sometimes I would feel like, damn, I might put it down for a second and pick it back up, and just be inspired again, or, you know, so I thank you for being on this journey with me, because it will be you that'll be like, no, girl, we're going to get this done. Or just even you doing it yourself will motivate me to be like, no, let me go get this done, because she's doing it.
Same. Like, I was asking that question because it's the same. Like, moments are hard. And last year was really trying for us with me being a new mom.
Yeah.
With COVID. If I didn't have you there.
Yeah.
So many balls would have been dropped. Like, it would have been like, what the hell are we doing? You know, so that has been the beauty in us doing this partnership together, because we are a lot alike. I will say that for one. And when you have those moments of you just want to give up, you need somebody there to say, hey, no, let's keep going. Let's do this. Let's do that. And without even making it a big deal, just picking it up and running with it.
Exactly.
You know? So it's not many times, unless there's like a retrograde,
I know.
that we experience these downs at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's been the beautiful part of this partnership, relationship, friendship, is being able to do that. But I wanted to ask you that because in your pattern of things, and me just sitting here and as your friend hearing these things for the first time, knowing some of this about you, but really you breaking it down is eye-opening for me. And that's why I asked that, because I'm like,
yeah, I don't think I would have.
Would you have made it this far?
I don't, not as fast, not as consistent, and you know, I got the discipline and the vision and the creative juices and all that, but yeah, I don't think I would have been able to get this far this fast.
It would have been one of them things like, yeah, fuck this, I'm over it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, these sales ain't coming. No, I'm good. Let me go over here and try something else new that I need to go get applause for. You know, so it's like this has truly been fulfilling a purpose for me. Like to be able to do this and freely do this.
Yeah,
you know, so. This has been amazing, this episode.
I really do think that the one thing that, you know, like you said, it's awareness of it. It's not a right or wrong in it.
Right.
It's the awareness of why you do the things that you do so that you can be fulfilled in it.
Right.
Because if you don't know why you do the things that you do, then you're a little lost. You're like,
facts.
So if it's for a reward or praise or to avoid criticism, just be aware of why you do the things that you do.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to close out the episode, and go ahead and catch that gem.
You know, dropping gems with Janine.
Enjoy.
Bye.